subjugate them to that.
That's right.
That's
And
right.
you're being very decent today. Why are you not yelling?
You meant to say subject, not subjugate, by the way.
No, subjugated.
No, he didn't mean subjugate, he meant subject.
Subjected.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, Mikkel? Have you been hanging out with Amir?
Amir, they don't like
No, I mean,
Oh, you guys don't like
it
him? You have a
for
phone?
a very long time now.
He got thrown out for
Just kind of
screaming.
petty. I don't know why.
No, it's because you were screaming the N-word for hours at a time. He got sick of it.
I mean, when you see Black Rabbi, how can you help yourself? Like,
Well,
how can you not help
normal
yourself?
person can help themselves.
I don't know.
Yeah. Are you saying
Such
you're not
an
in control?
easy, like,
Are you
dart
saying you
to
are not in
throw.
control of your nervous system, Mikkel?
Sometimes you gotta indulge, Isa.
You know that women are the ones supposed to be very emotional.
Indulgence doesn't, I mean, you could say indulgence is emotional, sure. I mean, men like to indulge too. It's like, there's a moment where you're having a serious conversation, Isa, and then there's a moment where, it's a food fight. And when you're in a food fight, there's no point of, I don't know if you've been in an American, school food fight. I've been in a food fight, and that's it. Like, all reason flies out the window. It's just, it's a food fight. So, indulge, just enjoy the moment. Everybody's screwed after. The principal's going to come in, and everything's going to go to shit anyway, so.
That's the thing. I have not even put myself in a position of being in the middle of a food fight. If you put yourself in a situation where you're in the middle of a food fight, you're an idiot.
I mean, that's the American experience. I don't know. It's just like chaos is, you can't expect everybody to be on the same page. Like, it's just, sometimes it's just a shit show, and you're in the middle of a shit show, and enjoy it. It's part of the human experience.
They're having a food fight in Gaza.
It's kind of interesting. I think he's projecting a little bit. It takes a piece of shit to know a piece of shit is what this piece of shit's saying.
Seems a little judgmental.
I'm just saying, if you smell a turd or a fart, you might smell Mikhail.
I'll agree on that one. We all got a piece of shit in us.
But we didn't say
Let the piece of shit come out every now and then. Just don't let the piece of shit take over yourself, right, John? Like, just don't become the piece of shit.
Yeah, don't be a terrorist. Treat your neighbor the way you want to be treated. Don't go to the Supernova Fest or any kind of concert and hurt anybody and be a piece of shit, because that's what piece of shit murderer losers who face justice and ultimately get destroyed. You killed by the sword, you'll die by the sword. If you're a piece of shit, you're going to get flushed.
I absolutely agree with that logic. If you are a piece of shit, you're going to get flushed. And, coming in and being the first terrorist in the Middle East and killing people for the sake of cleansing them to establish some sort of Nazi ethno-state in a territory that has 400 million Arabs isn't really the smartest idea. And piece of shit ideas get flushed down the toilet eventually.
You ever notice nobody buys your nonsense story, that it's at odds with reality? Reality does exist, Mikhail. And, people can open their eyes and see it. Not everybody is so married to this delusional bullshit that you're spouting. Some people just have to open their eyes. The first terrorist. Who puts on suicide vests and blows themselves up? Who puts suicide vests on children? Who brings the kind of death and destruction that you see in Gaza upon their own people? Who builds 500 kilometers of tunnels and then doesn't let one single child come down into the tunnel? Why is that? They say they care about their children. How about letting them down into the 500 kilometers of tunnel? I mean, make it make sense, man. Don't you think at some point there's somebody who's able to think their way through this? No? You think everybody's just going to buy a bunch of bullshit? The children! You think that's enough of an argument? The first terrorists! They took our land! Really?
Well, he's doing history revision. He's a history hypnotist, El Normo.
How much reparations do you want in your California home? If you're a citizen of California, how the hell are you a refugee? Make it make sense, man.
He lived through the Nakba, El Normo. He's a victim himself.
Stop talking. maybe take a breather there, Norm. Maybe we can.
Nobody
make
was
sense
talking
for
to
you.
him. Now we're back.
We've tried.
I mean, I know the meta. I know.
But see, there you go.
Mikhail is a history hypnotist.
Can't
Play
just breathe, bro. Breathe.
Play victim, be butthurt.
And then he
Talk
starts
about
singing. Like,
Norm.
look at this guy.
Talk about
Like,
Norm
what is
because
this
you have
emotional
no
train
bar.
wreck that these people
The
become?
first terrorist.
Like, logic and reason.
No wonder she has to leave. Yeah, Mikhail.
Because you guys aren't logical and reasonable.
I'm not Mikhail. I made a bunch of easy,
Look
Mikhail. Don't get flipped out.
at this lunatic.
Easy, Mikhail.
Look at-
Easy. Don't
Can't
flip
stop
out.
talking.
Don't flip out, Mikhail. You're gonna be okay.
No, you're just
It's all gonna be fine. You know
funny,
you're
dude.
about to
You're
lose
funny.
Gaza City. You're gonna have
Yeah,
one of
alright.
two choices. You're either
Okay,
gonna
we'll
give
see.
back all
We'll
the
see.
terrorists.
We'll see.
Yes, we've been seeing, haven't we? We've been seeing. Surely
All
you
I
don't
see
think
is
that this
Israel
is your
losing.
point. We've been seeing, right? And yet, what's gonna
September.
happen next in Gaza? What do you think?
September 22nd.
What do you think is gonna happen?
September
What do you think is
22nd.
gonna happen? Yeah. What about September 22nd? What about September 22nd?
I gotta thank Netanyahu.
What about
personally.
September- what
If
about
I knew
September
a
22nd?
war was gonna get
You
a
have nothing
global
to say,
recognition
do you?
like
You have nothing to
this
say.
fast,
You
I
should
would have
not.
done a war a long
You
time ago.
have nothing. Okay. All right.
You know, El Normo, he's a
It's gonna be okay.
history revisionist.
Nothing new will happen. You're going to be safe in California, and we're going to get our hostages back, dead or alive. And Gaza City is going to fall because your people let you right off a cliff. The same way you run off a cliff every time you talk to me. Same exact thing. Right off the cliff.
You know, some of
Nothing to say.
El
Nothing to say
Normo.
because, Norm, you're an emotional guy.
El Normo, some of my funniest clips, I have to admit, are listening to you, tease Mikhail. But the problem is nobody wants to have to tease a person to try to get them to see the truth. And, you hear the things he says. I think people should pay attention and listen to what people are saying. He just said we should have started the war sooner. What kind of a mentality is that for a young man on a Thursday evening or a Wednesday evening, while you're supposed to be doing something with your life? Instead, people are sitting here thinking about, war and homicide. It's sickening.
What did I say to Mikhail? It's funny. And you're
I could play you some clips if you want to hear yourself.
Do you remember anything?
Yeah, you're like baby talking him.
I guess you could play it.
There's a lot of El Normo clips on YouTube. You just type in El Normo Clubhouse, and there you go. The best of El Normo.
Really?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them. I've sent you many.
I'm not very vain because I don't even go.
I know, it's because you're too busy having fun. Nobody cares about this stuff.
Too busy having fun. I don't know why Issa left.
She got her dopamine fill. Okay, this is Soren versus El Normo.
Okay, you don't mean Mikhail. You mean
Pura
Soren. Okay, go ahead.
is English. Do you know English, Pura? Have you forgotten it? What does it say about you? I say, hey, Pura, who are you? And you go, come on, Pura. When did that ever work? I go, Pura, what kind of work do you do? Israel, and we see CBS. But who's Pura? Who's Pura? Don't hold back.
Wait, let me find the Mikhail one.
No, that doesn't sound that great to me.
The thing is, I think you have to eventually come to the conclusion, El Normo, that it's a comedy and a tragedy. But, Clubhouse is actually more comedy than it is tragedy. And, as long as nobody personally gets hurt here, or people don't make threats of violence, like pretty much everything is open except for other illegal topics of discussion. But I don't know. To me, it's just funny hearing all these conversations, and in hindsight, or listening to a clip of you, have a debate with somebody, because you spend a lot of time, and they spend a lot of time, and they enjoy it when you give them the El Normo effect.
Well, how would you describe the El Normo effect?
I mean, you can just
humiliating them.
Well, you have a better and more accurate history as opposed to what they're saying. Plus, you don't make homicidal ideation, terrorist death threats. So there's a big difference in what you're doing versus what they're doing. I mean, you're playing the role of the defender of Israel and its legitimacy and in the pursuit of justice. So they don't have anything to really stand on. So it becomes more of a comedy show or a roast show.
They want to kill Jews and pretend that they're not, but it's kind of obvious that they are.
It's insane comedy, you know, because you could be more legalistic, but you know that's not your personality. You're a funny, friendly, social person, and these are people making death threats against you and you know your brothers and sisters and your cousins and your aunts and uncles. So these are sick people, and they've been doing it for years on this app, and you know I report them to the FBI now. I want people to know that there are these little hate spaces on this app of terrorist promoters and terrorist supporters.
Well, it's easy enough to report them to the FBI if that's what you want to do.
Well, nobody's taking any action. Clubhouse doesn't shut their accounts off, doesn't close the rooms and houses. So, you know, I don't have much hope for the correct censorship that should be in place.
You should send me a link to Amir's room because I don't see it. And I have to assume that he's blocking me. It's the only explanation.
Yeah.
Unless you know of another one.
No, I mean, all you have to do is get anonymous on a separate account, and you can find the room again. I don't know what to tell you. I can send you a link.
Really
You
want me to buy a phone?
No, you can. Well, yeah, you're going to need a second phone, and then you just, you know, get a 30-day plan, or you can use Text Now, or and just get a burner account, you know, telephone number for $1.99 and set up a new Clubhouse account.
Yeah, you can use the Google phone, I think, or whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
you can use Google phone too.
Yeah, Google Talk. We don't have it in Israel, but you have it in America, and he probably is blocking you. What you can do, the way to check it is to go to his house, like search for his house. If you can see the room in there, click it. If you click it and it doesn't let you go in, then you're blocked.
I think I'm thrown out of the house. I don't even think I can see the house.
I mean,
Yeah, you're blocked. He says you're blocked.
I mean, the only Amir's house that I see is Shookie's.
Well, the point is, having these conversations at this point, after many, many years, is rather redundant, you know, duplicative, and a waste of time. But recording them, actually saying horrifically vulgar, disgusting, despicable things is the ultimate delight, because that's the raw, unfettered, not redacted.
Hang on 1 second. I want to get a logistical. Okay, I see the house now with 7,500 members, and I see the room.
Now click the room.
Is
See
that
what happens.
Okay.
Oh no, he's back in that.
So this is Barely Friends.
Okay, I went into the room, so I'm not blocked.
Oh, wow.
I think it's shadow banned. I think that's the answer.
Oh. Yeah, that could be it. That's how I
Thank you, Sam.
That's how I found this room, is I had to type in itty bitty just to find it.
Because it's shadow banned?
It might just be independently shadow banned for you, you know, at the individual algorithm, not
Is that
for
possible?
everybody. Yeah, I think so. I think it's that customized.
Were you able to get in?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm not blocked. I guess it's just shadow banned.
The shadow band being that it appears further down, you have to scroll.
Or invisible.
Huh?
Or it's invisible.
The losers in Amir's room yesterday were laughing about a 3-year-old Jewish child who nearly died. I suppose when a piano fell on him or something. And they said, "Is the piano, is the piano okay?" And they're all sitting there giggling and laughing. Like, what kind of grown men sit there and laugh at, a young person who gets injured? I mean, how big of losers could you really be? And so that's the thing that also makes me angry, is that there are humans this pathetic in reality.
It's protection. They don't really actually care about what's going on. They just think that that's what the quote-unquote Zionists are doing when it comes to Palestinian or Muslim kids. They actually honestly don't care about those children. They just, it's sort of like it's their type of, how do you call this, jihad. This is their jihad.
It is definitely their jihad. I said that exact thing to Amir. And he was very quiet when I said it, because I think he recognized the truth of what I said. You're right. And it's a lot about pride, and it's about the triumph of Islam. And if this continues, Israel's string of victories over the decades, then it can only mean one thing, and that is that God does not favor them. Or at least God does not favor them in this matter. And I think that's very painful to them, and they have to reassure themselves, because it undermines their entire worldview. That's not easy. Like, what if your whole belief system is undermined by contradiction that is there for all of you, for everyone to see?
See, I think you might actually be projecting a little bit when you say that, because
Which part?
About undermining the legitimacy of your nation, or undermining the credibility of your God. I mean, because the army that wins the battle and wins the war is the army or the general that used super intelligence to win the war. It's basically undermining their intelligence.
If you believe, we're in the West, and we believe that battles are really, and wars are won by brains and firepower. But I believe, remember, these guys have no firepower, and they're not exactly known for their brains. Not to be cruel or insensitive or even racist, but they have not shown themselves to be the brightest bulb in the marquee. So, I mean, they could have had a state if they wanted a state, as one small example, over and over again, and they wouldn't be in this position. I mean, they could have had airports and seaports and schools, like all the things that you know. They took all this money that we sunk into them, we meaning the West, and they put it all into building those tunnels. The tunnels are they're like one of the great wonders of the modern world, the terror tunnels, 500 kilometers of terror tunnels. Nobody's ever done it. Not Vietnam, which was much bigger. Not, I don't know, pick another group that builds tunnels. Nobody else has built 500 kilometers of tunnels. They did the whole thing for one purpose only, to attack the Jewish state. They didn't even let their own people in the tunnels. Think about that.
They wanted their own people to die.
But just even saying that is mind-boggling, isn't it? When was there? I mean, okay, you had, what do they call them again?
It's a war strategy.
You had kamikazes in World War II,
yeah,
but it wasn't the point of the entire Japanese population. It wasn't like they sent their kids into those wooden. Remember, they were also wood airplanes, very light.
This is very common in war. This is very common. You can look at what the Soviets had to do with their machine gunning, their soldiers, that they turned back. I mean, fratricide is a real part of the insanity of war. It's very common in war. It's part of the definition.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I guarantee if you look at, the top 100 battles in human history, you would see a lot of fratricide.
You mean friendly fire, or you mean deliberate killing, fragging, as we used to say in Vietnam?
I mean that like in the World War I trenches, when a French general, ordered 60,000 men to go charge a German position and 30,000 of them got wiped out. Like that is incompetence to such a degree that in a way you could say that's fratricide as well.
Well, I mean, maybe this is not really adequate, but that is the way wars were fought then. You went up the hill and some of you get through.
Well,
The rest of you,
they say psychological. Well, look at Gettysburg. They went up a fucking hill into into reinforced weapons. So like I'm saying that people will literally march to their death and force other people to do it on their behalf as well.
So I'm reading a book about the Battle of Gettysburg, and when I said people run up a hill, I was talking about that battle in that hill. And the novel is called Killer Angels, considered the best novel about about the Civil War, and maybe one of the best novels about war, period. So I was talking exactly about what you just said. It's a little scary for both of us, but we're on the same frequency here. And so then I have to repeat. They thought that some of them would get through. Then the general's responsibility was to calculate if enough would get through to win the battle, knowing that many would die. And if you look at the way wars were fought, you know more about this than me because I think you're trained in war to some extent. Wars were fought, and this is what Russians do as well, by throwing a lot of people at the enemy and hoping that more get through than not, that enough get through to defeat the enemy, knowing that many will die. I don't know what percentage died in that. I forget the name, but do you remember the name of that hill? I can look it up.
Well, going back to October 7th, that was an apocalyptic raid. That was an all or nothing suicidal dash of epic proportions, and it caused a great wound. But the blowback, this is what Ron Paul talks about, is the blowback from international intervention. And, so when you attack your neighbor, I mean, the thing is they weren't able to destroy their neighbor, and in the process they got destroyed. So this is what they're living with, and I hope to God they surrender and release the hostages, but chances are they are so fixated and in a trance, they will not be able to break these people's suicidal intentions, which is just like the Japanese, like you said earlier, the kamikazes. They have the conditioning in them to go all the way to the end, and that's unfortunate.
I don't remember the name of the hill, but it's a famous hill.
Okay, there's the Battle of Bunker Hill, there's the Battle of San Juan Hill, the Battle of Pork Chop Hill, the Battle of Ammunition Hill, the Battle of Hamburger Hill in Vietnam, the Battle of Cemetery Hill, the Battle of Champion Hill, the Battle of Malvern Hill.
I was talking about the Civil War in this case.
Oh, Civil War. Okay, let me do it again.
Well, it's the famous hill that John was talking about. They sent the rebels up. They'd been winning pretty consistently up until that point. They were better fighters, more motivated.
Well, did you? I know you're a filmmaker. Who's the guy who did Full Metal Jacket? Stanley Kubrick. Did you ever see his first film with Kirk Douglas?
Paths of Glory.
Paths of Glory. Like that's the type of real assholery insanity that a lot of stupid people will do to other people. They victimize their coworkers. They victimize their fellow soldiers into doing dastardly crimes and in the process wiping themselves out. That's stupidity. So what I'm saying, if you know what the word Mossad means in Hebrew, it means supreme intelligence. So the supreme intelligence always supersedes, these more superfluous actions. It was not a victory. I think the thing that Israel should always be concerned about is Pyrrhic victories. Historically speaking, a Pyrrhic victory is what comes about unexpectedly, where you realize, oh shit, was it worth it?
Battle of Champion Hill, Battle of Malvern Hill, Battle of Cemetery Hill, which is the Battle of Gettysburg.
Might be Cemetery Hill because we're talking Gettysburg.
There's Oak Hill, and there's Fisher's Hill, Honey Hill, Spring Hill, and there's more. But I have to do something, I don't know, dive deeper in AI mode.
Yeah, downtown Chicago is a grave site for these soldiers. It's in Lincoln Park. All these Civil War soldiers, who died in these battles. I went to this building downtown once, and I saw all these young people that died in Afghanistan and Iraq, and I was like, my God, was it worth it? These are 18-year-old, 21, 26, 24, 23. Same thing at Yad Vashem in Israel. I think this is what might make Americans angry. And Israel, a lot of people are very envious of Israel, I think is really what the problem is. Because if you go to Yad Vashem, you see the sacrifice and you see what was created with that sacrifice. You go to Afghanistan or Iraq, you don't see some kind of creation with those sacrifices.
Right. Well,
what are we talking about? About the deaths or like
well, we're
like
talking
aggressive
about
and
people,
bloody attacks or what?
the people who engage in suicidal
Missions.
suicide missions, yeah. I was going to say suicidal military missions, yeah. Like the kamikazes. And I just want to point out, though, that, John and everybody, the point of October 7th was to ignite the Ring of Fire. Hezbollah was supposed to do the same thing from the north. Hezbollah had a lot of ballistic missiles and other kinds of ordnance that could actually threaten Tel Aviv. They didn't have the chance to deploy them. And they were supposed to overwhelm the missile defense system of Israel and invade from the north and take over cities and take hostages. It was supposed to be the end of Israel. This plan was 10 years in the making and had been published in 2015.
Or more.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm taking into consideration Iran has been orchestrating all of these terrorist groups that have been surrounding Israel.
Did you see the video of the 2 young Mossad soldiers who got their reward for the beeper attack?
No.
Yeah, they wore face masks and they were presented with some kind of national military medal honor because they were either they received it on behalf of the group. I assume they weren't the master planners as a large group, but they received the reward, I assume, on behalf of multiple people.
That's really cool. The arguments of the people against Israel are becoming more and more retarded every time. I don't even remember who was saying what, but I was looking at watching an interview, and this guy was anti-Israel or pro-Palestine or whatever it is. They're like, yeah, but how do you justify that Israel and Mossad are so intelligent that they can make almost an almost perfect operation with Hezbollah, but cannot actually tackle only the terrorists in Gaza, in Hamas? Like, they should be capable of killing only the Hamas people and not civilians. And why do people have so high expectations from Israel? Like they hold Israel to different standards than any.
But actually, the answer is very much there. It's the same IDF that can target like Iranians in their sleep. It's the same IDF that can target Hezbollah in the north. What's different? It's not that the IDF is now like demons and stupid and clumsy. No, it's Hamas that is the difference. The way that Hamas is using their own population. That is the factor that is different, not the IDF.
Yeah, so they want modern standards for a bunch of butchers from the medieval ages who are doing that type of warfare. So they're hypocrites and they're criticizing hypocrites.
Yeah, but it's like, Israel has the responsibility to be extremely surgical and kill only those that are proved to be terrorists. belonging to Hamas. And it's like, dude, since when in the middle of war you expect those standards from whoever is attacking? If anything, if you see a ratio, of like civilians against militants, it's like one of the lowest in war.
Well,
it's like
you would hope that there's a time in human history where we may have weapons, but we are smart enough to know never to use them, but we still may prepare with them. But you know how many people die just preparing for battle? How many people in helicopters and planes tragically die in accidents from, a lot of this equipment doesn't work. And when you go and you really use it, it's a miracle that it even works. The Iran attack, if it was supposedly successful, was a miracle that everything even worked.
You mean like the missiles that Hamas was throwing that would explode in their faces?
Well, you see a lot of missiles that don't actually detonate on impact. So that's the type of example I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
And some of Hamas's missiles landed in Gaza.
Yeah, I know. They killed their own people.
I mean, how many people died in Tel Aviv during the last Iranian, super missile strikes? Because those were really major impacts.
I don't know how many, Daniel, because there were a lot of people injured, but not really a lot of dead people, right? Daniel?
Well, in the hospital now?
No. When the Iranian attacked Israel not long ago, how many people died?
Like 30, I think. No, maybe like 10. Wow, I don't remember anymore. So many numbers. I don't remember. I'm sorry.
You're like a woman. But I don't think it was like not even over. I mean, definitely not over 100. So it was more in the 10.
No, not over 100. Definitely. It's definitely. I'm trying to remember if it's like 10 or if it's like around like 28. For some reason, I have like both numbers in my head.
I thought it was like 76 or something, but I know a major apartment block and a hospital got hit, I believe. But anyways, I'm just saying that's the only time that I've ever seen Israel take a major, smash. And those were really powerful impacts. Like those videos were shocking when I saw those. And that's the only time I've ever seen Israel come under heavy fire like that. And if Iran, they're saying that another war with Iran is going to break out by the end of the month. But, I get the feeling that there's going to be stability.
Israel have shelters, John, and they're prepared.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying that those are still major strikes, But the thing is, if they took out Hezbollah, with that pager attack, and they had all those rockets, like Israel never had to suffer the theoretical Hezbollah rocket strikes. That never happened. Like that's a huge miracle, that hasn't happened or was prevented somehow.
God.
I think Israel is honestly a military and the intelligence is like it has no rival, like it.
Because we don't have any other choice.
Unparalleled. Yeah, whatever the reason, but you guys are so good at it. Like you single-handedly took down all the terrorist groups like Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, like. It was amazing, and then
while also fighting against the UN and Amnesty and basically the entire world.
Yeah.
I think
that was impressive, and then people are like, oh, but they need help from the US to drop that bomb. It's like, dude, it's one fucking bomb. Like, what are you complaining about? And actually, like, Israel is also doing the dirty work for the U.S. I mean, like the U.S. has suffered from these terrorist groups. The whole West is suffering from these terrorist groups.
The whole world. I mean, even like people in Gaza are suffering from the terrorist group. It's not just like their own people are suffering like very much. Imagine living in Gaza.
Yeah. But look, I mean, like, people are like, oh, it's the region. Just leave the region. No, dude, it's not just the region. I mean, like, look when Hezbollah went to attack in Argentina. Fucking Argentina on the other side of the world. What is Hezbollah doing in Argentina?
So if you think Netanyahu is going to do, a surgical incursion, kill as many hostages as possible, and liberate as many, or save as many hostages as possible, and kill as many terrorists as possible, like after that, then what happens to the remaining civilian population? Like, what are the actual national, international, and logistic plans?
They'll be put in temporary housing before Gaza is rebuilt, and then they'll be moved back in.
Yeah, but who is going to control that area?
The Israelis are going to control it to prevent another October 7th.
I think that would be the best approach. I mean, at this point, talking about two-state solution, as some people keep talking about, is just retarded.
But what is temporary housing? Like, do you even know what that term means?
Yeah.
There will be nonstop complaints about that. The housing is not good enough, and the food is not good enough. Electricity is not on all the time.
Yeah, and as soon as we build a brand new Gaza and move them all in, they'll say that it's broken, or they'll burn it down, or both. What difference does it make? I'm just saying what's going to happen.
No,
Or they will use
that's not true.
copper and aluminium and everything.
It's a trick question.
Create infrastructure to create bombs.
If you can say it, it is not true. So what McZed just said is not true, and Devin and what he said is more likely true. Because there is no such thing as temporary housing. Either you got four walls and a roof with plumbing and a boiler, or you don't. It's called a tent. That's not temporary housing. While Jews rebuild Gaza? I mean, what kind of fucking logic is that?
No.
Logic is that?
To a tent. The Jews did it for 40 years.
I think that Palestine should be recognized and give 100% of their responsibility to the Gazans and treat them to the same standards of every other country. And then all of the countries that are supporting the state of Palestine should put their embassies, as Daniel says. I want to see Ireland embassy in Gaza. I want to see Spain embassy in Gaza. Not in Tel Aviv, but in Gaza.
Yeah, well, you have to wait for it to get deterrorized first. I think that's what you're missing at this point, because they've had that for the past 40, 50, 60 years. They had that. They had their own currency. They had their own recognition. And so all this stupid bullshit about them not being a state or having official recognition, it's so fucking stupid. They've already had what they wanted. They're full of shit. They're a bunch of fucking propagandists.
If they're recognized as a state, the special status of refugees by the UN that they have should also be stripped away from them. Like, they will not be refugees anymore. They are in their land. It's the only status, the refugee status, that is passed on from generation to generation, that can be inherited. When have you seen that anywhere?
In Israel?
They have a special status. What?
I said in Israel.
What, refugee status? No,
yeah.
Not refugees.
What do you think? Fucking 1 million Soviet Jews refugeed into Israel.
But that's more like a tagline, But I'm talking about UNRWA. Like, UNRWA has got a special refugee status for all Palestinians, and they're being treated as refugees according to other countries. They have refugee status that they can pass from generation from generation.
It's not Section 8 housing, Issa. It's a parking lot.
Anyway. Give them what they want. Give them their land. Make them a country. Let them have their currency.
This is one thing I don't think people realize, that, like asbestos, when you do a building knockdown, when you knock down a building with a uranium-tipped munition, that whole area is fucking toxic now. So you got to bring in hazmat crews to clean up an incredible amount of rubble now in the Gaza, which is no easy task. Let me tell you, it's going to kill a lot of people just getting that rubble out of there.
I agree. What are they going to do with all the rubble?
It will take a long time, for ground zero, I think it took like 8 months to clear the rubble.
Wow. Well, I vote for sending the Amish there. If you put a few Amish there, they're gonna do that in 2 weeks.
No. Like the problem is like not only that it's like massive amount, it's also a lot of it like you need to first like remove all the darts and all the explosives and all the whatever that.
Yeah. It has to be completely clean. You cannot have people living there. All the toxic materials, the still explosives, as you say, the mines. It's a minefield.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
On the thing about give them a state and refugees, Francesca Albanese said last week that Hamas is a state. She basically said that we should treat them like a state. She's the worst, but I agree with her.
Who is she?
She's the UN special raconteur for something.
Raconteur?
Whatever she is.
Where is
She's
she
the
from?
worst.
She sounds Latino.
She's Italian.
Oh.
And her husband is also like a character. I don't remember exactly what I read about him. He's also like a very anti-us.
So when you say that,
Everybody's anti-you.
well, you said that Hamas was an ideology, but the thing is, it has actual identifiable leadership. So, I mean, and the senior leadership is gone. So, like, who is there to negotiate with? They're all just in Qatar or in Paris, and then you have.
No, but why would you negotiate with Hamas? You don't have to negotiate with Hamas. You have to negotiate with an alternative power. Hamas is supposed to be gone. I mean, like, I have been opposed to, like, the negotiation from the very beginning, you know, like, you don't negotiate with terrorists. If you do, and I get it, like, Israel puts the lives of the Israeli first and blah, 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 blah. But if you negotiate with Hamas, then you are vindicating their strategy of taking people hostage, so that they have got leverage on you.
No, I'm talking about at the UN in New York City.
Oh.
I mean, the United States of America spends $10 billion a year funding the United Nations. So it's like, you know.
Isn't Trump leaving the UN?
There's no way they can leave it. Never going to happen.
It's never going to happen. And we don't want America to leave the UN. We need America at the Security Council table.
Yeah, that whole thing is never going out of business. It's a big thing in New York City. But, you know, anyways, I'm just saying that it's a funeral procession, and nobody really likes going to funerals every day.
Well, they should send the Gazans momentarily to South Sudan, keep them there for a little bit, or Yemen, and then bring them back.
Why are you so cold-blooded?
Why? Where do you want to put them? In the U.S.? You want to bring them to Europe?
People coming here is like... South Sudan's a fucking hellhole.
Well, then maybe that way there will be some attention brought to South Sudan, because their war has been longer than the Gaza, and nobody cares about South Sudan.
Well, yeah, but
nobody cares about the women and children there.
But who's getting targeted in South Sudan?
The Christians.
Yeah, so why do you want a bunch of radical Muslims to come in and maybe speed up the
then
process
North Sudan.
to get killed?
North Sudan. Are you okay, honey?
No.
Hey, Daniel, you gotta stop sucking on that vape pen every day.
Where did he go?
He had to go hydrate his throat so he doesn't cough something out.
He got offended.
So I don't want to stir the pot, but Pepe,
yes.
I got a text from Jason Breska, and he said he's going to stay off the app because he doesn't want to talk to parasites like you.
Like me?
He really texted you?
Like me? No, like Pepe.
He's my number one. He's my number one campaign contributor. He gave more money than anybody.
Really? You just take money from anyone.
Well, I hope he read the rules because I don't think, I'm pretty sure he didn't break any rules by donating.
Can I donate if I am living outside of the U.S.?
No, that's actually a violation of the rule. But Caleb and Pepe and Devin can contribute to the campaign to elect candidate Kitover. We are going to Normal, Illinois to get featured at the Illinois State University on their local television network. We're going there September 5th for our second big media interview for the campaign.
Oh gosh, it's already 2 a.m. You see what you do, Daniel? You took me out of my clubhouse casting, and now I am being sleep deprived.
You do this to yourself, Issa. You're your own worst enemy. But
I know, but I miss Daniel so much.
Well, I want to.
He got banned from Telegram, and I couldn't communicate with him.
Let me ask Pepe something. So Pepe.
So it was the only way.
How did you get banned from Telegram? I didn't think that was possible.
That's why I
don't know. I wasn't even on Telegram.
You just get reported. It's the same as this place. But Pepe claims that love bombing is like sociopathic. Pepe was claiming that love bombing is sociopathic or psychotic. And so I'm wondering, when you hear
No, I said narcissistic or sociopath.
Okay, so sociopathic. So when you hear Mikhail love bomb Issa, I hear the same thing coming out of Mikhail, that is his sociopathic.
When does Mikhail love bomb Issa?
Go ahead, Issa. Tell him. He love bombs Issa.
Mikhail never love bombs.
Really? Are you serious? A lot of people come in here and love bomb you. Brad loves bomb you. Mikhail loves bombs you.
If anything, I think him asking you out. I think you got the bomb part right with him.
No. He doesn't love bombing.
Well, definitely terrorists who love
fight all the time, and he just like.
Well, you'll have to listen to the YouTube playback. I mean, you're gonna.
And he knows that I don't like Muslims, and that's the reason why he does that. But he's the hottest Palestinian in the app.
So I guess the affection is mutual, but nonetheless, I'm just saying that. Well, I mean, so what do you think, Pepe? If a female returns the love bomb to a sociopath, what does that make the female, Pepe?
That makes her a victim.
Depends. Women can. There's women that are sociopaths. They're diagnosed at a lower rate, but like even like borderline. Women with borderline personality disorder, for example, they often tend to get with guys that are narcissistic or having antisocial personality disorders. So they usually both are kind of have their flaws.
Exactly. That happened one time to me, and you trauma bond with them. So basically, your head is fucked up, and that's the reason why the love bomber is able to get through to your brain, because there's something wrong with you. And then you trauma bond with them. But it's not love. It's just, some sort of pain addiction or...
They have a very unhealthy, attachment style.
Yeah. And I thought that would never happen to me, because I've always thought, I control things. I'm an intelligent person. I don't get manipulated. But it does happen.
So
if you meet somebody who's like really sweet and seems super into you, and they...
I think you're muted, Pepe.
I said if you meet a person that like is really sweet and they go out of their way to make you happy, and it seems like they really they call it like mirroring, like kind of like the things that you like, and then it's just like you're like, oh my god, this person's amazing, but then things start to change a month or two later, and the person, they'll seem a little irrationally upset about something, and then it starts snowballing, and
becomes more and more frequent, and you don't like a lot of these people are not intentionally being manipulated. That's literally how since they were children, their brains work.
But that's the reason why I'm saying you are trauma bonded, because in the end, it's your brain sticking to a pattern of something that happened to you at some point in your development, and then you don't know why. You cannot really explain it, but it's just like your brain works like a magnet or a radar, that gets attracted to that kind of I don't know, trigger. And yeah,
well,
you get hooked.
Like the biggest manipulator is like yourself, like that's you manipulate yourself into believing whatever sort of reality tunnel you want to like live in.
Who is this fat? Oh, Sunny. Yes, how are you, Chris? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, it's 100%. Like
that's true. We are our own. As Edmund said, you're your worst enemy.
Edmund is one of the smartest people on this app. 100%. Like, love this guy. He's great.
I know, and you're one of that too. Like, you're very similar.
So I asked. Go ahead, Chris.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, I work a 9-to-5 job, so I can't be on stages that often. So I'm getting blue balled in the gulag all the time. So it sucks.
I remember from when like ages ago, when you had your actual profile, and then you became anonymous and started shadowing Edmund's rooms.
Yeah, no, because like he's sort of like this intergalactic radio station. So like I just tune in and he goes to like different rooms, so I could get like a broad, wide information sort of gathering. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I agree with the thing that you're your own worst enemy.
So I asked Grok, what are the 10 most profound discoveries of C.G. Jung and his contributions to psychology? This is what it says. Collective unconscious, a shared reservoir of human experiences and archetypes inherited across generations. Archetypes, universal symbolic patterns like the hero or mother that shape human behavior and myths. Individuation, the lifelong process of integrating conscious and unconscious elements to achieve self-realization. Psychological types, classification of personalities, including introversion, extroversion, and thinking, feeling functions. Synchronicity, meaningful coincidences without causal links, connecting psyche and external events. Shadow, the repressed, darker aspects of the personality that must be confronted for growth. Anima, animus, inner feminine, anima, in men, and masculine, animus, in women, influencing relationships. Persona, the social mask or role one presents to the world, distinct from the true self. Complexes, emotionally charged clusters of ideas that influence thoughts and behaviors unconsciously. And the last one is active imagination, a technique for dialoguing with unconscious elements through visualization and creativity.
What do you think his IQ was?
I'd say he's fucking a genius, I mean, he wrote a lot of books. So did Freud.
60.
Who is this? I didn't pay attention to who it was.
Carl Gustav Jung.
Jung. Yeah, I love that guy. He's amazing.
Yeah.
It does feel though like our society, like I don't know, like it's sort of like it's become sort of like the devouring mother in a sense.
That's because of all the liberal, crazy women. And when you see that archetype, the mother archetype, it's very protective and very authoritarian, and it's like my way or your way. And when you mix that with the biology of a woman, like all the hormones and the instability and the fact that we have way more thoughts per second than a man, and then our brains resting less. So we're basically, Jesus, Daniel, we're more neurotic, and you mix that with the archetype of the mother, it's a very bad recipe for authoritarianism.
Have you heard this idea called the longhouse?
No.
So it's like sort of goes back to like the Native American times, where everyone would live in one house, and it was very matriarchal, and sort of like our entire society, in a sense, is sort of like a longhouse, where like the HR sort of departments, and it kind of takes over, like I don't know, like it restricts human thought, and I don't know, it's just I don't like that at all.
What do you think that is? Where is it coming from?
I think it's cyclical, everything is cyclical in nature. So, like what John says, like the Tao, right? There's the yin and yang, and it goes in periods of cycles.
Well, I put in the chat that the biggest difference between 1995 and 2025 is your cell phone. And your goal should be to capture your cell phone instead of being caught by it. And to me, that's like one of the funnest games, but an exhausting game. However, there are many people that have gotten ahead of their cell phone. And there's many people who are hypnotized by their phone. Other people use their phone to hypnotize millions, but you could be Britney Spears and totally lose it and dance around with knives and get 200,000 likes.
So, like this trans shooter, they're like part of like this network called 090, and like they want to radicalize people through the internet, through like their hypnosis. Like the this other trans person who shot up a elementary school. I forget his name or her name, whatever. Like they were part of the same sort of organization. It's really interesting. Like let me post some links. It's really disturbing.
It's a brainwashing thing.
Yeah.
It's like a machine. It's like a cult. I don't know. It's just very weird. The whole trans movement is super weird, especially when you see women wanting to have kids just to prove a point and trying to indoctrinate their kids into these movements. It's super sick.
Well, there's a lot of insane Jew hate on the internet that's claiming that Jews are responsible for all of homosexual behavior and all human history. Like, you see the craziest memes on X now. I wouldn't even want to share them with you because they're so insulting, but I do screenshot them because I think it's important to like have evidence of a lot of this stuff, because people are mixing art with raw hate and bigotry and propaganda. It's there. It's here on this app. You could say, in my opinion, that the Free Palestine movement is technically like its own cult in a way. Amir's Room is very cultish with Wednesday, and it has a lot of overlays. But every room on this app eventually takes on the role of some type of ceremony or ritual or some kind of cult.
Yes, we can hear you.
Which mic is working?
I don't know, but it just poor Edmund, he was talking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just posted a link to the Wikipedia article. So 764 is a decentralized satanic neo-Nazi transnational sextortion network that is reportedly adjacent to the Order of Nine Angles, a satanic terrorist network. It is classified as a terror network by the United States Department of Justice.
Oh my God!
It's an actual thing, yeah.
This is so creepy.
Yeah, no, like, and a lot of like these trans shooters have been part of this network, including like this most recent one. They're nihilistic chaos agents.
It's Nazi, it's extortion, it's transnational. Wow.
Yeah, that was a lot of adjectives.
So yeah, you can like check out the Wikipedia article. Yeah, it's really like it's a mind virus that's being spread through the internet.
Well,
It was found just like 4 years ago.
have you ever listened to something so stupid and then, watched it back on YouTube and you're like, I can't believe how stupid that conversation was, and I listened to it. So the thing is, if you hear something, people will listen to just about anything. So it does come down to like spam and censorship and thought control. And, this is where there's criticism and the dumbing down of our society. I mean, go to your average classroom, everybody's looking at their cell phones. They're all just, we're living with a bunch of slunked over people. You go to the gym, every single machine, people are slunked over looking at their cell phones. So it doesn't have to be in your body to, make you into a zombie.
We are all zombies. Who is this guy, John Sirota, in the chat? He's a Palestinian lover. Hey, Simon.
Hola, hola.
Is he?
It's the greatest cult, Josh. There's no better cult to be in. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
I don't know. Oh yeah, you're commenting in the chat.
I was in a room earlier. Go ahead.
Is this who I think it is? I see Daniel has been the bad influence on you, Isa. One day back on Telegram, and there goes the streak. Actually, you're right, because Daniel, I was trying to do 30 days of Clubhouse, and you got me out of it on day 28, and I just realized that after I connected. I should have stayed up 2 more days. 2 more days!
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
I apologize for being so irresistible.
Like what can I do? I didn't know, I didn't care.
Hey, John Kitover, can you please stop harassing me with your multiple friend requests for your multiple accounts?
Why? Is he hurting your feelings?
It's just really annoying that I have to reject them all every day. I don't know why you're so obsessed with them.
Oh my god, sounds like you have a hard life.
Pretty sure John does that to everybody.
Yeah, you're not special.
I don't even understand why you.
I have like 20 friend requests from him on Instagram. I don't complain about it.
I mean, either way, I actually searched Pepe Clubhouse. There's a bunch of like videos of Peppa Pig. It's like a cartoon for little kids, and then I'll scroll down, then Pepe, and then it's Peppa Me. Then I'll scroll down more, and I keep on finding clips that are all from John Kitover.
Yeah, there's a huge Pepe Clubhouse collection that I've built up over the years. You're one of my most widely produced Clubhouse clowns, Pepe. Congratulations.
Yeah. Are you harassing Josh for anything special, John?
No, if I add you a bunch of times, it's just because the algorithm shows me and I'm clicking everybody. So don't think you're special. Sorry. I know you're a star and a flower, but I do it to everybody. So that's not personal, Josh.
Is it supposed to be better that you're spamming everyone as opposed to just particular people?
Yeah.
Yeah, it means you're not. It means he's not stalking you.
Yeah.
So you're not a stalker. You're just a nuisance.
Yeah.
It means you don't have a claim.
Yeah, I'm trying to do mass communication here. Some people call it spam. I call it using 60 phones in my office.
Josh, plus you only have 300 followers. Like, I don't think that you get too many requests from people, so you should feel flattered that he's actually paying attention to you.
I mean, you could be a dirty slut like Issa and get lots of male attention.
That's right. Look at my profile. I got 4.4. Oh my God. It has increased while I was away.
So Pepe, Issa asked me earlier about the drama and the doxing and the shit stirring of the pot. I was just wondering, what do you think your role is in terms of shit stirring a pot? Because
he's the shit stirrer.
Yeah, he's a chief shit stirrer, isn't he?
I'm a different type of shit stirrer. I would make like rooms about controversial topics. I use slurs often. I would give unpopular opinions, but that was like my MO. Mine wasn't to like have the petty drama or back and forth between people. But, not to say I'm above it, because obviously I tried to remain cordial with JB, but he insisted I did something I didn't do. He's like telling people not to go near me, and I don't even make rooms much anymore. And he what else did he do? He was calling me names and shit. And so I went in his room and I addressed his questions and said, like, dude, I did not dox Roger. I'm not going to dox Roger. Never told anybody his real name. I gave a screenshot that
everybody knows his real name.
Exactly, and everybody knows what the fuck he looks like from season 1. Yeah, well, I'm not going to say it. And
the drama of saying that somebody's real name is doxing is kind of retarded.
My name, you faggot.
No. I did not take your name. This is the name of Jesus in Arabic.
But I just, so basically, he wanted to throw out these accusations, so I just, first of all, he's somebody who went on trial on Clubhouse so many times. He got called out by, the people that had really big audiences several years ago. I re-aired those clips. He dug out both of his felony convictions that involved, one was pretty awfully horrible. The other one was just like, just a $200,000 embezzlement, not a big deal.
That was not very much embezzlement, really.
It wasn't even really embezzlement. It was just fraud. But he, then I play all the clips of the women, the men that he tried scamming on here. And, he lies about his ancestry. He's not a Jew. He mostly was saying he was Italian. He has zero Italian ancestry.
I'm going to say it again, but I have never heard him claim that he's a Jew.
He did after October 7th. He told me to my face he was a Jew. To be fair, he does have some people in his family background, he's Eastern European, that when I searched, these weren't his relatives, but when I searched people that were named his relatives, the same name, they were Jewish.
A lot of there's a lot of Jewish DNA in people. Like I have 4% according to my DNA.
No, I'm not talking about DNA.
Jewish.
No, I'm not talking about DNA. I'm talking about, is it possible that he has maybe one side of his family is Jewish? Perhaps. I didn't go digging into that, but he does have one particular surname that seems most of them are Jewish that I came across. So it's possible.
Fellow Jewish people.
So, I was just asking, why you stir a pot of shit? Because don't you get shit on your hands?
Don't you see, John, that people here love to pretend that they hate and that they're unhappy, but everything works out well because they are happy while pretending they aren't. This is how they get their dopamine.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I personally, if you're going to try to and his MO has always been like he tries to weasel his way into a platform like Million Man Marathon, Healthy Debates, and then try to get like an admin or be allowed to open rooms, and then all of a sudden, I won't get into his real issues, so I don't want to litigate that in here, but he has a lot of issues, but Yeah, he usually ends up fucking them up. But he thought he was going to try to like bully people by lying on me. Fine, I will run your ass through the mud. And I did. It was embarrassing for him. He had to do mass reporting. And
I mean, this is Clubhouse. Everybody on here has serious issues. This is not news.
I was thinking exactly the same.
Right.
He has much more serious issues.
Anybody on here who doesn't have death roll cluster B diagnostic criteria, like immediately noticeable.
Sure. Well, he definitely has those, but I mean, most people do not have an egregious. Yes, but I'm talking about like an egregious criminal history like him.
Well, we are.
That's fine.
That's a little bit different.
That's fine, but you don't have most people do not have the egregious felony history that he has.
Yeah, criminal is different. Most of us are pretty good at not getting caught.
Okay, so I'm sorry, but would you con two women and coerce and threaten them, saying that if they leave, they're gonna let their family know?
Yeah, he told that to me every day.
And 50 and 60. Hold on. 50 and then you have them sleep over the course of 2 days with 50 to 60 men each, and don't give them any of the money.
Yeah, he's trying to do that to me, but
this guy's just a piece of shit.
So he's a pimp.
No, he's not a pimp. He was literally it was fucking fraud.
I mean, if he's having them sleep with people.
This is funny because
that is not pimping. Because
it's not pimping.
Hold on. The concept of what Pepe is describing, I don't know if it's true or not, but the concept that he's describing is more sex trafficking.
Why is it like you look at the
kind of like how it's voluntary, right? Like the woman is being commercialized. What he's describing is not pimping.
all you have to do is go to YouTube and type in Pepe Clubhouse. You just got to type in Pepe Clubhouse. It's not Peppa the Pig. It's Pepe Clubhouse.
This is entirely different.
Hold on, just let me say this. That's a very serious accusation.
Okay,
it's a very serious accusation.
He does not deny that he did that part. What he does deny, and I put a link in the chat, that was when it was on national news. This piece of shit ended up doing a plea bargain, so he was not, when it came to the sexual assault charge where he forced a woman to suck his dick, he pled out of that one, but he absolutely admits himself that yes, I did that to those women. I made them sleep with those fucking guys, and basically they were to get no money. He spent it all. It was all his, and the only reason he could pull it off is because he would threaten them.
Oh my God! I'm reading the article. Is it for real?
Yeah, I mean, no offense, but when somebody says, "Oh, we all have issues," no, I mean,
in fairness, this is coming from the New York Post, which is not.
Well, dude, but even the New York.
He got convicted, and he admits it. He did it.
If these were not, I mean, they could have been.
Well, they also wouldn't be writing it quite so explicitly if they couldn't get sued to help for it.
Oh, Rebus.
Right.
Good wisdom.
Right. Crazy things.
Is this guy JB that so basically he wanted to run his mouth. So what I
Pepe took him to the boxing gym and taught him what it's like to box.
Shut up. So what I did is I was just like, all right, when he opens a room, I'm going to make a title about him. I'm going to start airing out his laundry. And then he's somebody who's really sensitive about like, oh, how many people can I get in my room? He gets a sense of control out of doing it. That's why he's like mods the way he does.
Yeah, I know who he is. I know you're talking.
Yeah, and so basically I would end up getting, more than twice the people in my room, mainly because people wanted to hear the nasty shit I would say about him and release all of the dirt. So I did it. And, he ultimately thought it would be cute. So there's one woman, KK, who her husband was an officer in the Marines, and he was killed while serving overseas. She was known on the veteran side of the app. So I published all this with her. She's not a phony or anything like that. He decided to say, like, you're a fucking, you know what? I think you're a fucking fraud. Fuck your husband, suck my dick, and I'll give you a yeast infection. Basically shitting on her and her dead husband. And that obviously did not look good. And that's probably why he's no longer an admin of Healthy Debates. So, I don't know.
Who was this you talking about?
Wait, since
JB?
when?
No, why would you talk about JB like that?
Yes, he got kicked. He's no longer an admin as of yesterday.
Why?
I'm guessing it's because of what he told KK. He was saying vulgar shit to her, saying like fuck her husband who died serving our country. That she's a phony and she's a fraud, and her husband was like, you know, a piece of shit. He didn't trying to say it like, oh, he probably didn't even die serving the country. You know, just really insulting shit.
I don't believe that. JB's a good guy.
We have it on. Want me to play the recordings?
Yeah, play it.
Okay. All right. See, I went. We had the. I mean, like, I don't know.